Oh, important detail last session. Dylan has glasses.
Yes.
Dylan has glasses. All right, and then you all went to bed.
There you go.
And then the fucking elves didn't actually sleep because they do their weird trancy things. So the elves are, and you guys only trance for like 4 hours, right?
Yes.
Right.
And then you're up just way earlier than everybody else.
Yep.
Cool. So when you're awake at some point in your respective rooms, wherever they are, I don't really know what your rooming situation is. You guys can decide that if you would like. But when the elves wake up, you hear a kind of tapping sound that sounds like it's coming from out in the living room area. Just sort of repeated. It's not loud enough to wake anybody up, but since you guys are awake, you can hear it.
Like something tapping on a window.
Where's the tapping coming from? Just outside or?
It seems to be it sounds like it's coming because your rooms are sort of down a hallway out away from the main area, the living room, dining room, kitchen area. That's all sort of one main big room, really. And it seems to be coming from down that direction, which is away from your rooms.
Okay. I mean, Vera will, I guess, stealth towards it?
All right, roll for stealth.
Is it a methodic,
She's
like,
not wearing armor right now because she
tapping?
can't sleep in armor.
No, she's probably not in her armor right now, but it's not gonna do much, to be honest. She still doesn't have great stealth.
Ah, bless. All right, so you think you're stealthy. You think you got it.
I got this.
You are creeping down that hallway. Anybody who's sleeping right now, it's a little noisy and you have to kind of put a pillow over your head. But you manage to sleep through it just fine. Vera, you creep out into the living room and you're following the sound of that tapping. And you go out and you look, and it's coming from one of the windows in the dining room, which had gone completely unused last night because you all just chowed down on rations when you had a chance. And you go out into the dining room, and you see at the window, there's a little white and gray bird perched on the windowsill, just tapping its beak repeatedly over and over. Tap, 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 tap on the windowsill.
On the windowsill.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look at me when I come in?
Because you rolled very low on stealth. Yes, in fact. You just get into the dining room and you see that it's a bird and it's tap, 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 and then it stops and it looks at you. And it's just very, very still. It doesn't move at all. And you're like, that's a little weird. Normally birds move.
Can I help you?
It taps again. Tap, tap.
Well, this isn't my house. I don't know if I should just let you in.
Tap, tap.
I'll have to go find the owner of this house. I mean...
Tap, tap.
Hold on. And she'll go look for Susanna.
Master bedroom.
Yes, so you know what door Susanna ended up going through, and you go down the hall and you can, I assume, knock on her door.
Yeah, she'll knock lightly.
There's a little bit of stirring within the room, and it takes a minute, but then Susanna opens the door and she looks really tired. She's just wearing a purple dressing gown over her nightgown, which that's unusual in and of itself to see Susanna wearing color. And she just says,
or less than 3 layers.
This is also true. Vyra?
Do you happen to know a black and white bird
I know a few birds. There's just a bird, like not a familiar, just a bird.
Well, I suppose it could be a familiar. I have no way of telling, but it's tapping on the windowsill like it knows this place.
Susanna will nod and sort of push past you into the hall and walk down the hall and into the dining room where the bird is still there, just annoyingly tap, 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 tap on the window.
Vera will follow to see what the deal is with this weird bird.
Susanna just sort of looks at the bird and she says, well, I mean, it hangs around here sometimes. It's been hanging around late. Well, I assumed it would leave at some point, but a couple months ago it was hanging around a lot. I don't usually let it in the house though, because it's just a bird. But I think it might be I think it might have a broken wing or something, so it can't fly long distances.
And this bird doesn't look like the other ones in town, does it? It's like, because the other ones are just crows.
Yeah, there's a lot of crows in town that you've seen, and it's just this one is little and sort of gray and white.
Is it more Magpie-like, or?
It looks, well, do you want to roll a nature check to find out what kind of bird it is?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm great at those.
Well, you can try.
No. It's a bird.
It's a bird.
Neat bird.
It's pretty petite. But Susanna reaches forward and she taps on the window and the bird flies away.
Does it come here a lot? I mean,
it hangs around a lot. It's weird. It doesn't it lacks that windowsill. I've seen it a few other places, but I don't think it can fly for very long distances because I never see it flying around. It's always perching.
And the other birds don't bother it?
It doesn't spend a lot of time with the other birds as far as I can see. I also don't spend a lot of time with the other birds though, so it's not as though I pay a lot of attention to it.
That's fair. It just seems like it'd kind of stand out against the other ones in town, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry to wake you up. I just didn't know if that meant anything to you.
Well, I'm glad that it's, not dead. I sort of assumed it would die at some point.
Does it have a name? Do you feed it often?
I don't feed it. It just hangs around.
It just hangs around?
It's just a little mockingbird. But, maybe I should give it a name. I don't know.
Well, that's up to you.
I'm going to try and sleep a few more hours.
All right. Go get your rest.
Yes. All right. Good night. Good morning. Good morning. And Susanna goes back to her room, shuts the door. You are awake. You can just chill like you normally do in the mornings, or if there's anything else you'd like to do, I guess.
No, she's just gonna chill.
Okay.
Talia would like to explore the house.
Okay, Talia, explore the house. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Nope, they don't know damn shit. So they're just here to absorb information, and that means wandering the house and looking at everything. At ungodly o'clock. All
right, make some perception, investigation. I don't care. Roll some kind of a check to see how much stuff you find in the house.
It's gonna be perception.
Cool.
Because I'm a monk.
You're a monk.
I'm good at that.
That's fair. 18. All right. Are you following any particular pattern? Like, are you going room by room, or are you literally just, look over here, look over here, look over here?
No, it's a very, room by room grid-based situation. You know, professional, video gamers have that, very grid, how to explore a room thing? That.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm going in the morning. Mm-hmm.
Would you like to start in the bedroom you're in or out in one of the main rooms?
In the bedroom I'm in. Sorry, Diona.
Okay. So you're going around, and it's a decently sized room. It's got nice windows. It's got pretty curtains, as far as you know what curtains are on a scale of pretty to not pretty. They are a light purple with some floral pattern on it. Sort of dark wood chest of drawers in one corner. The bed is nice and comfortable. You would know that from, well, I guess you didn't sleep, whatever. It's pretty bare bones,
Yeah, but
though.
it's still probably at least perched on the bed and.
Yeah, fair enough. So it's a comfy bed. They're looking around, and there's not very much. There's very little personal effects in this room. It's really does seem to be guest bedroom, not used for storage. There's some, there's a clock on the dresser that is ticking away, and that's about it in that room. Very, very empty, really.
Okay, next room.
All right. Are you going?
When I say explore the house, I mean fucking like room by room. Let's go.
All right. Are you going into one of the rooms occupied by your friends at the moment, or are you going out to a main area that doesn't have people?
Nope. Everyone, every room.
So you're
Okay.
gonna ball to everybody.
Yes.
So, do you want to go into? I assume there's a Dylan and Vias room, and then there's a Vera, Zoella, Lena room.
Talia has no concept of privacy.
Okay, Talia's gonna go into we'll call it the Dylan and Vias room for funsies. Do you want to roll a stealth check or just
Nope.
Okay.
I mean, if
Dylan
they're
and Vias
asleep,
can decide whether or not they're woken up by this.
if they're asleep, Talia will do their best not to wake them up. But they have no concept of privacy.
I mean, to be fair,
Because of the
Mercy
Dolphier.
is watching every movement you make. She does not need to sleep. And she does have
So-
a telepathic link with Vias. So if he
You-
truly wanted to wake up, he could.
This room seems to be about the same as the other one. Different color curtains. These are blue with some white checks on them. Very nice. There's a clock on the dresser in this one too. Different clock. And you can go through all the drawers. There's very little in them. A few extra sheets, a comforter. You can go through Dylan and Vias's stuff if you want.
No, I'm not gonna go through their stuff, but like, I'm just wandering the rooms and looking.
All right. Going into the other room, the Lena Zoella Vera room. I just decided, by the way, what your guys' sleeping arrangement was.
That's fine.
Fuck it.
We settled into our usual sort of patterns.
It's
Sure,
the
yeah.
same deal. Very bare bones. Dresser, clock, different clock. Same curtains as the first room. Nothing really in terms of personal effects. Do you want to, after searching the 3 rooms in that like little stretch of hallway, do you want to go out to the main area or towards Susanna's area?
I mean, Vera's probably awake when they came in because
This is true. Vera is awake. If you would like to chat.
I think she just kind of look at Talia.
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you looking for something?
Not in particular.
Just looking.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, try to put everything back where it was.
Oi?
All right. And she'll probably just be like praying while Talia's going around the room and looking for stuff.
Yeah, there's not much there. So, towards Susanna's room and other doors, or towards living room, kitchen, dining room?
whatever makes like the most sense in terms of the layout, so they can just do like one clean loop.
I mean, it really is just like a hallway. One end is one thing, one end is the other thing. But you can go to the main area. Sure, let's do that.
Okay.
So you go in, and the living room, which you'd been in last night, there's little armchairs, little couchy type things. The nice curtains, same thing. There's a lot more knickknacks around. There's little paintings and drawings on the walls. The drawings seem to be sketches of like wildflowers and birds and things that might be seen around and about in the sprawling wilderness of Corwick. Just kidding. And there's a clock on the mantelpiece over the fireplace. There's 2 candlesticks on either side, which Susanna had lit the previous night, but then were burned down. Sort of get under all the chairs and things and see what you can see. There's a lot of just like small dust gathering knickknack type, couple little porcelain figures, some doilies on the table, a little coffee table situation. Go in, can inspect the kitchen. It's full of cookware, cast iron skillet hanging on the wall. You know, there's utensils. There's a little stove situation. The dining room is just 2 very quaint little chairs, a little small table covered with a sort of floral tablecloth. The windows nice and open. You do not see the bird because the bird has left. Sort of. Are you going deep? Like, are you opening all the cupboards, looking under the tablecloth, doing all the like?
Yes.
Okay. So in the cupboards, there is not much food. There are a few essentials. You know, there's like flour and sugar. There's stuff that would have kept, but nothing that would have spoiled while Susanna was out of the house. You notice actually in some of the drawers where there should just be normal utensils, there's some like tinker's tools and jeweler's tools that are sort of mixed up in with the regular forks, knives, spoons sorts of thing, because it doesn't look like Susanna's very organized in that sense. The chairs are nice. The table, you lift up the tablecloth and you notice that like, oh, it's one of these well, you wouldn't know, but it's a table that has like leaves so it can be extended and made into a slightly bigger table. There's also like a very large, dark reddish brown stain covering half of the table, which was covered by the tablecloth previously. And in the kitchen again, there's a clock on the counter, and there is a clock on the windowsill actually in the dining room.
Are they running?
All of the clocks are running, yes.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about it for the main area. So now you get to go down to the other end of the hallway. I gotta say, I wasn't expecting Talia to do a scavenger hunt in the house first thing in the morning. But so you can either go into Susanna's bedroom or the other door.
Susanna's room first.
All right, okay.
Like a little shit.
So you go into Susanna's room, and Susanna, and I assume you're again not being super quiet.
Again, if she is asleep, they will be quiet. But they don't have like a sense of like, I'm doing anything wrong right now.
All right. Well, for argument's sake, we'll say she's asleep. You go into her room. It's a very spacious room. There's a little balcony on one end with, you know, a door that goes out to it. There's a big bed which she is in the middle of, completely sprawled out. you can go and dig in the closet and the drawers, and here's where all the good stuff is, because there are clothes and clothes and clothes, all right? There's a bunch of stuff like menswear, like what you've seen Devin and Idris Crow wearing, sort of in one side of the closet, and then there are a lot of dresses. There's 2 or 3 black dresses, just like you've seen Susanna wearing, but then there are, dark purples, greens, a red dress, all sort of pushed to the back of the closet, and in the drawers there are accessories for all of them. There's a variety of, clothing accoutrement and such, and then in one of the bottom drawers in the cabinet there seems to be a lot of medicine and healer's kit type situations, bandages, wraps, anything one might need for first aid, and then some sort of vials of unlabeled something in there. And yeah, that is pretty much Susanna's room. There's a lot of clothes, a lot of stuff.
All right. Good to know. Talia will then head to the last door.
All right, cool. It has stairs down to the basement. And in this basement, you find a little workshop. And there's tables around 3 of the walls and chests of drawers on the other one. And they are just covered in stuff. There's drawings and sketches of clockwork. There's jewelry. There are tiny, tiny bits of findings and fixings for jewelry, little tiny pieces of gems. There's gears of every sort, all sort of shoved onto one table. All the clockwork stuff seems to be exclusively on one table, and the other 2 are sort of jewelry related things. There's tools, there's bits of metal, there's anything that Susanna could possibly want for making jewelry and or clocks. You do not notice anything like gunpowder or bullets or anything of that nature. But there's an awful lot of stuff packed into this. It's a very small basement room, really, but there's a lot in it.
Okay.
And that is the workshop, pretty much.
Interesting.
Might sound crazy. Could I, pay close attention to kind of the walls and things? Because I think Talia's a bit confused, like why this room is smaller when than the upstairs. Why wouldn't you use all the space that you have?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're looking for like secret locations?
Yeah.
Yeah, make an investigation check on the walls. Yeah, do that.
Does that logic make sense? Like why Talia would be like, why
The
wouldn't you
logic
use
does
all the
make
space?
sense. It does.
Like, this is not me trying to be meta. This is me, like, Talia's like, what the fuck? You have so much more space. Where's the door?
Yeah, so you go around the walls, and they're sort of hard to get at the walls because, again, these long tables are sort of almost built into the structure of the room. And you're going around, and you notice, like, on the wall that has the chests in it, there's like a dent in the wall, but it's not like you sort of push on it, you're sort of feeling around. There's nothing that would indicate that there's more space behind there. And you're going around. You don't find anything that indicates a secret situation or a door to a further location within this basement. No.
A secret situation.
I have English words that I can use.
Sorry, repeat that.
The whole bit, or just the
last sentence.
I have English words that I can use?
No, the last sentence of your description.
Oh, it doesn't seem like there's any secret doors or entrances to other parts of the basement.
Well, Talia is confused, and we'll head back upstairs.
Cool, valid. All right, that's pretty much the house, I think, unless I'm forgetting some rooms. I didn't expect to need to go through all the rooms,
Is there
but
an attic?
is there
You
an
didn't.
attic? Let's find out.
You didn't expect we would just be snooping around Susanna's house
I didn't expect
like it's any of our business.
There it does seem to be. You can look around and you do see, like, on the ceiling in the hallway where all the guest rooms seem to be located, there is like a place, like a handle that one could use to pull down the stairs to an attic, presumably. However, Talia, you are too short to reach the ceiling, and it doesn't seem like it's not a string, it's an actual handle built into the ceiling, so you can't get at it. So
Here's the fun thing, I'm a monk.
fucking monk. All right, yeah.
You're a monk who can't wall run yet.
No, but I can, like, do parkour and try to hop off the wall and up to the handle.
All right, make an acrobatics check to do
Am I
things.
incorrect? Is that not a
You're
usual
right.
parkour move?
You're right.
That's only an 11. Fuck.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
okay. So
At
you do
least
manage to get the handle. It's very loud.
Um.
You parkour up, you grab the handle, you smash, fall back onto the floor, and the stairs fall right after you. Bam! And everybody who was not previously awake is now awake.
Yeah, I think Donut does.
I like to imagine Talia is, like, on their back on the floor, just looking up at the stairs, just like, oh.
Yep, that is exactly the situation that you all will come upon if you go out into the hallway where that
Yeah,
loud bang
Diana's
just
gonna go out
happened.
the hallway, 'cause the fuck?
Good morning.
Tell us what to do. Oh, are you okay?
I'm fine. I found some stairs.
Susanna comes out of her room and says, "Okay, what?
Talia found some stairs.
Oh yeah, those are stairs. Congratulations, that's the attic. It sure does exist."
Talia picks themselves up off the floor and swings up and up goes up the stairs.
Okay, I guess they are going. Okay, enjoy the attic. Nobody close the stairs on them. You can't get out if you're in the attic. When the stairs are closed, it locks and you can't open it again. Susanna goes back into her room.
Vias just pokes his head out for a moment, sees Susanna returning to her room, and just goes back to sleep.
He is valid. Talia, you get up into the attic. It's very dusty. It's even dustier than the rest of the house, which was not undusty. And there are sort of crates and boxes everywhere. This is clearly a storage space. And I bet you're going to tell me that you're going to go through a bunch of boxes, right?
Not like detailed, but like look.
Surface rummage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It seems to be old clothes, like very old faded fabric. The sizes when you pull them up, they're too small for they're children's clothes, really. Quite a few children's clothes, like kind of a lot of children's clothes. It's a little bit weird. And one box is just a lot of sketchbooks and they all seem to be clockwork when you just sort of rifle through them. And one more is just old, seems to be books that are just sort of old and not in use and very dusty.
All right. Talia is satisfied.
Cool.
I think since Diana is already up, she's gonna start like checking kitchens, see what of the staples she can use for at least like basic breakfast.
Right.
To what are the staples when used with her own stuff.
Right. At this point, what time should it be? What time should it be?
How long do you think it would have taken Talia to do their rummage?
This is what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know how long it takes to search houses. I don't often do it.
Because it's anywhere from like 3 to 4 a.m. to maybe 5 in the morning.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
All right. Well, we'll call it 5 in the morning for the sake of, I don't know. Sounds more pleasant than 3 a.m. Yes. So you get up and you sort of start looking through the kitchen. You find the same thing that Talia did, in fact, which is the various tinker's tools and jeweler's tools that are sort of scattered throughout the utensils.
Donna is slightly amused.
And you find there's stuff there. There's not very much stuff. Anything that would have gone bad has gone bad, but anything that would have been fine seems to be perfectly fine and is a normal amount that would be stocked in a functioning household. That
Which
is
you definitely know off the top of your head.
That is as detailed as I'm going to get about what is in the kitchen, even though I should have prepared for this because I knew you were going to do this.
Diana has a general guesstimate of what staples are, and if there's anything lacking that she knows she has, she'll supplement from her cook's tools. She doesn't have particularly much because all of it needs to keep on the road, but
Right. So, yeah, the kitchen, better stocked than you would have imagined. But obviously, there are no eggs or dairy products, etc.
Yeah.
Because she's been out of the house for 3 months, 2 months, however long she's been out of the house.
So we'd probably be looking at very camp food if Diana were to try and cook now, and she doesn't know the local area well enough to know when markets start to.
Both of these things are true.
Yeah. So I think that we'll be going to at least doze for a little bit longer, just while we figure out, just until Susanna wakes back up the next time.
Right.
So that Diana can ask.
All right. So we'll call it about, like, what did I just say it was? 5? About 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
Susanna will be awake and moving about in her room and will at some point emerge and head, just sort of check in on everybody, check and make sure that Talia didn't get locked in the attic. If Talia is no longer in the attic, she will close the attic in order to prevent...
Don't worry, if Talia had gotten locked in the attic, Diona is definitely tall enough to open the attic.
This is true. Diona is. That is correct. If Diona had tried to open the attic, it would have been no big deal.
4 a.m. bastard mug tries to open attic.
I was gonna say have Geef give you a boost if they can't get in. Have girlfriend give you a boost if you can't get in.
Yeah, I think Diona's gonna, when she realizes Susanna's up and about, kind of gonna make an appearance and possibly wearing like the undershirt for the suit and the pants, but hasn't actually done like the waistcoat or jacket yet.
So halfway to looking sharp.
Yes.
Perfect.
That's a hot take. I like that.
Right?
Oh,
Sus,
Good morning.
Morning. You don't have much in the way of groceries at the moment, and I don't know when the local grocer does business or local farms and stuff. I wanted to ask about that.
What time is it? She checks
About
her
7.
watch. It is 7:09. That's the other thing. All of the clocks in the house are also in sync. None of them are out of sync.
I hate that a little bit because she's been gone a couple of months.
Mhm.
She's been
Isn't
one
that
with us.
interesting how stuff just works out?
Does it?
I don't
Isn't
like
it
that.
interesting
Is that what you're calling it? Working out?
how stuff just works
need-
out? Susanna checks her watch and she says, "Oh yeah, we just in 20 minutes, 20 minutes, you'll find somebody who's awake." Well, no, it's fine. I'll go. I can go. You don't know where anything is. You don't know where anything is. I will go.
Do you want me to write down what we need and what I want you to pick up?
Yeah, I don't know what we need. I don't know much at the moment. I'm very tired. I was woken up twice. The first was nobody's fault. Actually, no, both of them were everybody's fault. I don't.
That's
Fiona
fair.
looks offended.
Bird and the
And just-
attic.
I'll write you down a shopping list. Guests that we're gonna have, are they gonna want like refreshments and shit?
They'll be fine. They don't, as far as they're concerned, I am incapable of doing anything. And so they won't expect me to do anything except, who knows what they'll expect. They'll drink water. Everybody can drink water.
Okay.
No.
I mean, I was gonna offer tea, but if you think they'll be fine with water, that's...
I mean, they'll probably want tea. I don't care, really, at the moment. I don't care. I don't really want to see anyone, but it is 7:10 in the morning, and I have people to see because I've been gone for months. Good morning. Good morning. I'm fine.
You can tell them to fuck off.
No, I can't. I'm afraid, but I appreciate the implication that I could. It is a nice daydream. to
No,
sleep
no,
a very
you
tall-
could tell them to fuck off and we could leave. That's a thing we could do. Up
No.
and leave. Most of us haven't unpacked our shit.
Well, first of all, you should unpack because you're doomed to stay here at least a week if anybody has any say in it.
We
And
only got here last night.
well, yes. Anyway, I need to go get dressed because I'm going to the market in 20 minutes to pick up some groceries. And then I will. Yes. Okay. She looks very
Sus?
tired.
Sus, you have any preference on what I make for breakfast?
I don't. Ask. I don't really care. I like breakfast of many sorts. It's no great preference of mine. You don't have to make breakfast either. Like I can make I mean, it is my house. I can make food.
Dana just gives you a long, flat look, and it helps me feel better in any given space to make food.
Okay. I'll get stuff for breakfast, which you will make, and you will ask somebody else what they would like because I don't want to make a decision right now, except for which veil I am going to wear today to look my best. And she sort of walks back into her room, looking sarcastic every step of the way.
Oozes sarcasm.
We
Oozes
love her.
sarcasm. She's oozing it.
A trail of sarcasm.
It's just goopy. The hallway is goopy now.
God, unfortunate.
Regrets. Dylan's definitely still sleeping.
Sure.
And like just because he sleeps in, right? Or is he awake, do you think?
I don't know. What time is it?
It's like 7:20.
He's asleep.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Bias is also asleep, honestly.
Good for him. He should sleep. The bird boys are sleeping.
However,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
I do think
Mercy
I'm
would've-
establishing Diana as a moderately early riser anyway, so...
Yeah, she's up and at him.
She's you know.
Mercy, however, has somehow managed to wiggle her way out of the room and probably is chilling out with you guys at this point.
Mercy in her shiny new.
Crow form, yes.
Great. Cool. So you said is she like a normal looking
She's a white
crow or is she A white okay.
Yep.
Right.
And there's just on the backs of her wings, like in her whitetail hawk form, those little black shoulder blades, she has those on her blades as well.
Okay. Good to know. She sounds very lovely. What a fancy bird.
She's got epaulets.
Aww.
Damn, stylish. Imagine being that styling. Can't
Fancy
relate.
verb.
She just flutters down and watches Diona as she does things.
Yeah. I think at this point it's mostly sort of pre-prep. It's mostly like finding what of the dishware she wants to use, and
Sorting out which of the utensils are actually utensils and not small pliers and things.
yes.
Tools versus utensils.
Yeah. So you're working on that.
I think Mercy does get some scritches just out of.
Bless.
She does a weird like sound because crows do that, and it's creepy a little bit.
They sure diddly
Honestly,
do.
quite frankly, Ren, everything about Mercy is creepy. Donna just rolls with it.
Mercy
Excellent.
wakes up early.
She's a, like she makes very strange noises because crows have a really interesting vocal range, and her tail does the little waggy things because
Aww.
crows do that with tails. It's very cute.
At about 7:25, Susanna comes out and she's looking nice. Well, she's wearing a different dress than normal. It's still black. That you probably wouldn't even be able to tell that it's a different dress. It seems slightly larger, if that was even possible. And her hair is down, and she says, "Will somebody help me put up my hair?"
I'll do it.
Thank you. I'm trying to get it right and look nice, and I don't feel like it this morning, so I'm making somebody else do it. She hands you a little clip that is attached to a long black feather, and she says, "Would you put this in as well?"
Donna kind of gives it a look, gives Susanna a look. Can't tell anything through the veil, and just, sure, I can do that.
Oh, the veil's not on yet.
As well?
Hmm?
Do you mind if I add something as well? It doesn't have to be visible, but it'll help me feel better.
Yeah, sure, do whatever you'd like. Sorry, my hair is actually a mess. It's not actually a mess, she's just saying that.
Yeah, Diana's gonna pull out of this little black lacquered wood box, sort of near the top of her pack. It looks like a small cord that's got little wooden beads braided into it.
Oh,
And she's gonna work on twisting that into the braid she does for Susanna as well.
lovely.
I assume you want the feather visible?
Yeah, it looks it's meant to be seen. Don't be judgmental.
What was that?
Don't be judgmental.
Doesn't suit you. So
All I say is don't be judgmental. What is she next? Judgmental. Imagine that.
yes, you've been a terrible influence on me.
I was gonna say it's no more than I deserve considering, but what? It's fine.
Sus, I'm a friend, and I'm sorry if I upset you.
You didn't upset me. I'm being salty this morning because I did not get very much sleep because of a bird tapping at the window, waking people up, and then an attic slamming on the ground, waking people up. So,
Talia, who probably sat at the kitchen table by this point, just shrugs.
that's, you know,
Table on the table.
On the table.
of course. Did you put the tablecloth back, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Don't want to see the evidence of your sins.
It's a little lopsided, you can totally tell.
Somebody has messed with Susanna's tablecloth and they will die. Just kidding.
Yeah, Diana is gonna do the braids. In roughly similar to what she's seen Susanna do before. Just
Yeah.
what I'm sort of eyeballing similarity, but with the addition of two.
It's really just sort of the having it up and back that is important to Susanna, so she really doesn't care what you are doing at the moment. And when it is done, she will nod and she will look at the time and she will put her veil over her head.
And Diana's gonna hand the shopping list.
Thank
Since
you.
neither of the boys are awake, I think she would have asked Vera if Vera had any preferences for breakfast. If Vera or Zoella had any preferences for breakfast.
Whatever the local special is.
Yeah, Zoella doesn't really. She's not that picky.
The local special is chicken and waffles.
Of course it is. Fucking course it is.
Oh my god.
Why? Because I feel like it. So.
Man, I want chicken and waffles now.
I want some fucking chicken and waffles too. That's why I feel like it.
Food.
I want water. We're like out of bottled water now.
Oh,
So
no.
that's unrelated. Anyway, Susanna gets her things together and sets out, leaves through the door. And you're all just chilling, I assume. And then like 30 seconds later, the door opens again and Susanna walks back in. And with her, there's a very petite woman wearing a bright blue dress with very, very blonde hair, very pale, very blue eyes. And she has a large basket on her arm and she's basically pushing Susanna back through the door. And she says, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will be doing the shopping.
Talia instantly like jumps and then like dashes out of the room.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. I don't know you yet. I brought breakfast and I will be doing the shopping. And she walks past Susanna, walks past any of you who are hanging out and sets the basket on the counter in the kitchen.
Sorry.
Nice to meet you.
Hello. Yes. I'm Susanna's sister. I'm Cynthia.
Oh, yeah, she did mention you.
She's sort of looking around at everyone who's assembled, which at this point is maybe, since Talia just ran out, just maybe Zoella, Vera, and Diona.
Yeah. And I think Diana's gonna start going through the basket, see what she's got.
As you approach her, she sort of looks you up and down and she says, "Oh my goodness. You know, they said you were tall. I didn't expect... Hello. Yes. Sorry.
I get that a lot.
That was very rude of me."
It's alright, I get it a lot. I tend to be the person who does the cooking in our fine group, so.
Oh, yes. Well, I just brought breakfast. I always used to do it. So I brought it today after I heard she was back. It's, you know, it's all made up already, but yes, I was going to go get some groceries. Is there anything anybody would like? Also, names. Hello. Yes, I heard names briefly from my brother, but I didn't I don't remember them, I'm afraid.
Vera Stonehelm, pleasure to meet you.
So nice to meet you. Cynthia Crow.
Talia reemerges having affixed their fake ass monk robes and grabbed a goddamn and grabbed a fucking like pillow or cushion from some fucking room. And we'll reappear.
All right.
That's Ansel. I'm Donna.
Hello, yes, very good to meet you.
Zoella points to herself and says, Zoella.
She seems a little bit confused by you, Zoella, but not as confused as other people have been. So she just nods and waves.
Talia gives like a greeting bow, I think.
She will bow back, more confused than she was with Zoella.
Ansel has taken a vow of silence as part of the monastic order.
Oh, that's very interesting, yes. Well, I will be back shortly. I'm going to go run and get some groceries. And it'll be lovely to meet you all better. I just want to go and make sure.
Donna
everything
does
we need.
write down a shopping list.
Yep. I mean, Susanna has the one that you made for her before, and she like.
Yes,
Cynthia
but this is
to have-
one that actually has like more detailed than just we want breakfast.
All right, cool.
Then breakfast, please.
Yes. All right. She will take that from you.
However, since we've had our first visitor, once she heads out, Donna's gonna actually finish getting herself presentable.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, so Cynthia scurries on out, shopping list in hand, very fast. She moves and like she walks very fast, which is kind of intimidating because she's like 4'8" and she's got a huge dress on and she's just sort of scurrying across. Yeah, she's very small.
Like she's smaller than Talia.
She is smaller than Talia. She's very, very, and she is even more like Diona being tall to her is even more so than Diona being tall to other people because you've
Talia
got
has a
literally
moment
2
of
feet on her.
Talia has a moment of someone who's finally a proper height.
Perfect. And yes, she
Cynthia isn't 6 inches shorter than.
Yeah, proper height.
God damn.
Talia was tall for their area.
after
Oh no.
after Cynthia heads out, Susanna sort of sits down. She's like, "Well, that's convenient because I don't have to go outside." Perfect.
Talia now spends a minute finding somewhere in like the living room kitchen area as a good possible place to like put this cushion down and be like fig meditating for the rest of the day.
Careful, don't hurt your abs this time.
I'm just sitting in place. It's not as hard as correcting for the horse movement.
Are you still sore?
No.
Oh, they're lying.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check. Fucker.
Oh, right. I have to actually roll things, huh? I have a character sheet.
Those exist.
Does Diana let her roll?
Donna's not in the room because Donna's actually.
Right, yeah.
Insight.
7.
7. Yeah, Susanna believes you.
I mean, Talia's charisma is shit.
Susanna doesn't believe you.
They're lying.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, I'm glad you have so much resilience. Good luck with your meditating. I don't know what to say. Enjoy. I'm sorry that you have to do this.
It's better than speaking.
Fair enough. Wish I could be a monk.
Talia keeps her mouth shut.
Fair enough.
Too much salt.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, there's at some point, Vias and Dylan are going to have to wake up because there has been like quite a bit of commotion and people talking.
I think as Donna's heading back after getting herself the rest of the way, she does rap on the door and come on, we gotta. The social thing's gonna start happening soon, and if I have to suffer, at least one of you has to suffer with me.
The door would have been a little bit cracked open because of Mercy, so you'd be able to look in there. Vias is just kind of like sitting on the edge of the bed with his like head in his hands, and he just kind of like waves at the door. Give me a minute.
Yeah. We've got a little bit, but we've had the first of the visitors, so if I have to suffer, one of you two has to suffer with me. You two know how to talk to people.
I mean, in theory, yes. It doesn't always work out very well.
Oh, but it'll be entertaining.
What was that?
Oh, but it'll be entertaining.
I want to explore. I don't really want to talk to people yet. But
Fair enough.
Sucks to suck.
You hear coming from the kitchen.
he just yelled.
Or possibly here along the message rings.
Damn.
I mean,
Oh, I forgot we had
technically,
those
if you
rings.
yelled it, Mercy would be able to tell you.
Yeah, Dylan can for sure have been woken up by this conversation / other chaos that's been happening this morning.
Yeah, that's...
Also,
And
as
if
a
Dylan-
note, Vias has stolen most of the blanket.
Once when you wake up,
Bastard.
you have to like clear your head for a minute and you have to think, wait, did that actually happen? And then you realize that yes, what you had woken up in the middle of the night to confirm did actually happen, and Marcus is gone.
Sheet.
Dylan, you good?
What happened?
Oh, Marcus had a little bit too much fun with the rest of the birds, and now he is dead.
What?
I mean, that can be fixed, yes. He's your
Oh
father.
yeah, that can be fixed. Don't worry about it.
Okay. What do you need for that? I have incense if you need incense.
I don't need anything, I just need to like chill out for an hour, but if we've got stuff to do, classes and all of that, he will be fine.
Dylan, resummon Marcus so that you can see.
Yes.
It will take an hour.
Yes,
And
and
honestly, I would like to do more things here.
You won't be able to see the things you're doing.
I can see. I can see. I can see.
Bias just narrows his eyes at you, and you notice that he's kind of got some dark circles under his eyes a little bit.
No, Dylan would not notice that because he can't fucking see.
True.
I mean, technically,
Color.
it just fucks with the depth perception. You can still. Being blind in one eye just fucks your depth perception.
No,
You
his
can
other
still
eyes fucked
see
up
very
too.
distinctly.
He's
His
also
other eyes
got
fucked
bad
up as well.
eyesight. Yeah.
He just
Fair.
has shit eyesight.
I'm
That's why he needs
legally blind.
Everybody is shapes.
Sucks to suck.
Yes.
So, Dylan, you don't see Bias's dark circles. Diona probably does, but
Yeah. Did you sleep?
Oh, yes, I slept. I just didn't sleep well. I don't know. New place or something? Oh,
bye, Sarah.
Thanks for bringing the cursed energy with you.
Bye.
Bye, Sarah.
But Vias kind of just rubs his eye a little bit and smiles and just says, it just was a rough night. I don't know. I mean, I got woken up once from whatever that noise was before, and I mean, that wasn't necessarily the most of my issues. I just had fitful sleep.
Yeah, I think I understand.
Feels weird.
How so?
I feel itchy here. Maybe it's dust mites or something.
Might be dust mites, might be like no, it's too early for pollen. I don't know.
I just feel a little weird. I'm sure it's fine. We'll get through this for Susanna. See what happens. Meet her family and whoever's in this town, and maybe we'll make it better for her.
And failing that, we convince her to bolt in the middle of the night and we just never look back.
I think she has too much pride to do that. And Vias
She
sits
just
up
needs
and
plausible deniability.
Vias, as they're talking, he kind of just smiles at that and starts picking up his clothes to get changed for the day.
Yeah. Dana is in the suit at this point. It isn't quite well adjusted, like it looks a little bit, but
Mhm.
I'm sure that when she gets downstairs, Susanna will fuss with it until it's.
She will absolutely fuss with it as soon as you reappear. It's all fuss.
Vias kind of takes a look at it and just is like, "Oh yeah, I'll dress up a little bit too. Why not? Fuck it, alright."
Oh my gosh.
And he kind of like shoos you out of the
They
door
seem
and
to have expectations here. She rolls her eyes at that. It's pretty clear what she thinks of these expectations.
people are strange.
Dress could be nice.
Dress could be very nice. I do have a skirt. And Susanna did get it for me.
And it's good manners to wear gifts.
Exactly.
God.
Except I don't have the right shoes. I can make it work.
I'll see you downstairs.
Yep. And he basically just closes the door.
Vias in a dress, what will he do? What crimes will he commit?
What crimes
Vias in a
has
dress
he
is more
committed?
dangerous than Vias in a skirt, to be fair.
What crimes?
Yeah.
What crimes?
I also realized there's not a downstairs, but I think Dona is just so.
Who needs I'm glad you acknowledged that, because otherwise I was gonna have to pretend like the house had stairs.
Spiritually downstairs.
The house has one set of stairs. It's to the basement. Oh, two sets of stairs because of the
To
fucking
the
attic.
Yep.
I've already forgotten the house that I made.
That's because architecture is hard.
You're
Go ahead.
right.
Sorry,
So,
playing
Diona,
along.
you get back down, not downstairs, fuck, into the main area, and indeed, Susanna adjusts your jacket, fusses with your collar, does a whole thing, and then steps back and says, "You know, you look very nice."
You have very good taste.
All right, I picked that, didn't I?
You did.
And she looks very pleased with herself. And let's see. At this point, it is probably like almost 8 o'clock.
Yeah, there's probably dishing up the food if it hasn't already been.
Oh, yes, there's food. I forgot that Cynthia brought breakfast, even though I just said that. Yes, you guys can start dishing up the breakfast, which is just because I said chicken and waffles earlier, it's going to be chicken and waffles because I'm still hungry. So y'all can dish up some tasty chicken and waffle boys.
Hell yeah.
Would this be a poor time to mention that I, as Joe, have never actually had waffles?
What the fuck?
Well,
Huh.
it's like pancakes almost, but with
No.
bits.
What?
No, they're not.
What do you mean it's like pancakes almost?
They're not like pancakes at all.
They're not in the slightest like pancakes.
The firmness is different.
I don't
The
like
batter
pancakes.
is different.
It's very a different experience on many, many levels.
I mean that's true, but I don't enjoy them very much, so.
All right, then I'm sorry, but you're not valid in this situation.
I don't like pancakes.
Waffles aren't really a thing here. Like, you can get, like, packaged Belgian waffles and stuff. You can't get. It's very hard to actually get a waffle maker here.
Damn.
And I had told Parker this.
I will
Damn.
bring a waffle maker when I move next time.
Waffle maker, waffle.
Damn, Parker, if you had brought a waffle maker, you'd have been the only person in all of Australia with a waffle maker.
The only one.
I feel like
Only
that's
one.
untrue.
The
only
only
one.
one.
Oh my god.
Can't believe Parker would have been the only person in Australia with a waffle maker. Celebrity status, am I right?
You can rent it.
Parker would be walking down the street and someone would be like, hey, are you that person with the waffle maker? Nice.
That would happen all the time, every day.
That just sounds exhausting. This sounds like a reason to not get a waffle maker.
Anyway, waffles are great. These ones are pretty good. Has Diona had waffles before?
Yes, Diona has had waffles before.
Okay. Diona thinks they are quite good. She thinks she might have been able to do better, but they're quite good waffles. Chicken is good.
Yep. That's
Syrup,
her general.
also good.
With food she knows how to cook, she generally has a bit of a, I might have been able to do it better, but it's also nice to.
Yeah.
This is the
That's-
weirdest cuddle position we're in.
Yeah, well,
that's gay. Y'all are being gay.
yes, we are. What are you going to do about it?
I'm gonna play D&D about it, actually. And as you are all sort of digging into breakfast, I assume. Wait, first of all, Vias, what do you wear?
There was a couple of items of clothing that he could wear. And I don't remember the ones that he had bought before.
As long as he is wearing some sort of clothing.
Absolutely not. No. He's probably skipped out on the skirt for now, just because he doesn't have the correct shoes. He does not have flats, unfortunately. So he has his boots, and he's probably wearing like a loose fitted like top shirt, like with those like billowing pirate sleeve kind of thing deal.
Yes.
I assume.
Yes.
It's very nice tailored shirt, I guess. I don't know how to explain what he's wearing. It's a bit flashy, but that's probably his.
On a scale of
formally
1 to
well.
10, how sexy is it?
I mean, there's a little bit
Depends
of a
on
dip
your
in the front.
preferences.
How sexy is it to Vias?
Vias thinks and feels like he feels good in it. The front of the shirt probably dips down a lot lower than you guys are used to, because the shirts that he usually wore were basically turtlenecks.
Damn.
And you can actually see like a small mark of some sort on his neck that has been.
Oh my
covered
god,
forever.
Vias has
That's
a
it.
hickey.
No.
You can't say a small mark of some sort and expect me not to think it's a hickey.
It's just like a little lighter patch of skin. Like maybe it's like a scar or something. You're not
A
sure.
scar from a really
Ghost-
intense past hickey.
A
All right.
ghost hickey.
Ghost
Sure.
hickey.
You
An
guys.
adult. So,
Dylan is dressed in normal Dylan clothes.
all right, plus glasses, I assume.
Plus glasses.
You can get
Very
food out of
good.
the fridge. There might be something edible. There's a
Um,
whole one pancake worth of mix if you really want it.
I don't want a fucking one pancake worth of mix. Shut up.
Sorry, we're negotiating food.
Which apparently won't be fucking waffles, because those don't exist in Australia and in fact evaporate once they're brought into the country.
They just dissipate.
I mean,
They
considering
unspawn from the
Australia's-
location.
The Australia's immigration laws on bringing fucking wheat products into the country, they might as well.
That's a safety thing.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid how strict this shit is.
So the lads finally emerging. They can get themselves some breakfast. Dylan, do you mention in more casual conversation that Marcus is dead, or do you just like not?
He's just vibing. He's
Alright.
fine.
He's just vibing. All right, glasses and all, and he's eating his chicken and waffles, and it is great.
Yeah. If Dylan doesn't mention it, I don't think Diana will, just out of respect.
Hmm.
Dylan looks fine with it.
All right.
Dylan looks fine about a lot of things.
That is
Can-
true.
Can Vias like since he had been in the room when Dylan said that Marcus died, does that upset him at all, or is he struggling at all currently?
You want to roll an insight check on Dylan?
Yes.
Oh,
Roll your tasty insight check.
come on,
and-
insight, my boy.
Josh, roll your roll thing.
I'm gonna roll a deception.
Makes sense
Yeah, of
because
course
it's
you
Dylan.
will.
Because it's oh.
Well, shit.
All right, Bias, roll good on that insight.
Please don't. Yes!
No!
I, however, am going to roll that insight.
Hold
Okay,
on,
I
I'm
guess
gonna
you
have
will.
Mercy roll
no.
too.
Of course you're gonna have no. Mercy was outside of the room. You can't have Mercy roll.
Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind. She can't. She can't know all secrets.
Mercy was hanging out with the cool people.
Yeah, with Diona and Susanna.
The squad.
Oh, and Vera, I think too, because Vera's down there, right? Yes.
Oof.
Okay, that's not meant to be as Talia, but Diana also doesn't.
Oof.
Oh, none of us could tell.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oof.
Diana's a little bit distracted by the entire rest of the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dylan's fine.
Dylan is fine.
He's just vibing, honestly.
Yeah, and I never trust when Dylan's vibing.
I mean, honestly, he's vibing. He's ready for some crime.
Don't.
So, you're all eating your breakfast, and at some point, the door opens, there's no knock, and Cynthia Crow returns. An even larger basket in her arms, and she is, again, a very small individual, so it's starting to get a little bit ridiculous, the size of these baskets that she's bringing.
Diana is gonna stand up and start to help because...
Oh, and Susanna wouldn't be eating in the kitchen or dining room. She's just eating in her living room. So you all can eat in the dining room if you'd like, or wherever you want. But Susanna's eating in an armchair.
I think Talia's also in the living room, eating and trying to be comfy on their little cushion.
Their meditation cushion that they stole from the bedroom.
Yes. That they don't actually need, but are just like, this seems like an appropriate thing to do for the lie.
Right. For sure.
Oh, Vias kind of perks up at the new company and says, "Greetings."
Oh, hello. Yes, I'm Susanna's sister, Cynthia. I don't know your names, I'm afraid, but I brought groceries.
My name is Vias. Vias Totari.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
And she looks to Dylan, who is also there.
Hi, I am Dylan.
Hello. Yes, good to meet you as well.
Good to meet you too.
Yes. Susanna, Cooper's going to be bringing the girls in maybe 30 minutes. We didn't tell them that you're back because if we had told them last night, they never would have gone to sleep. So we are surprising them. So be ready. And Susanna just sort of nods, and she's got a mouthful of chicken and waffle. But she gives a thumbs up, and it's genuinely like the most awkward you've ever seen Susanna in her life.
Vias just grins brightly at that. And he kind of lifts his arm and has Mercy come perch. And then we'll probably go eat his food.
All right. You chow down on some chicken and waffle. Cynthia, it has not stopped moving since she got in. She put the basket down. She helped sort groceries into various places, and now she is up and about and like dusting things. And going about and like brushing things off the mantle, lifting up the clock, dusting under it. She is very high energy, clearly, and is not slowing down or sitting down at all. However, it is nice because the place was actually quite dusty, and so it's preferable to have it dusted. Susanna makes no attempt to intervene with this activity. She looks like she's just resigned to Cynthia cleaning.
Talia is also eating chicken and waffles, but has only realized at this point that maybe they should have grabbed utensils. and are instead just eating it with their hands and are just kind of like, oh shit.
Make a
Valid. They
sandwich.
don't have utensils in the monastery.
Clearly not.
It is the closest thing to meditation. You need to be closer to your food.
Closer to your food. Exactly.
Dylan is seeing shapes.
Yes, it's true. When you see Cynthia arrive, she is a very small, smaller even than Talia shape, and she is blue, but only her clothes area, and very pale, what is not her clothes. So
Cool.
that is the shape you get.
Hey, nice shape you got
Shapes.
there.
She does indeed
Shapes.
have a shapely figure. Not that that
Dylan
is
is gay.
that is. I was gonna say I was responding more to Ren than I was to
Damn
Dylan.
it, but I'm gay.
You are valid. I'm also gonna AFK for like 2 minutes because I am a thirsty bitch and I'm gonna go see if our Brita filter is done. So I'll be right back.
Drink.
Shots, 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 shots.
I drink.
Water.
Joe had to take the calls, so.
Gotcha.
I have no thoughts.
Head empty.
A head
Nice.
empty.
How are we this morning, folks?
Not too bad. I'm glad I got to leave my dad's house early.
I have some frozen chicken nuggets in the freezer,
Ooh.
so I think
Nug.
I'm gonna make those for lunch when we're done.
Hell yeah.
I don't remember what my mom said she was making for dinner today, but I'm really excited to eat homemade food. I swear I've been.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Did you have water to drink?
I had a little sippy sip of water.
Bless.
I am replenished, my soul refreshed, feeling great.
Excellent.
Nice.
Noise. Canoise.
Knife.
Canoise.
Like knife.
Knife, knees, canoise. Every word that starts with an N actually starts with a K. That's just a fact of the English language that has been largely lost to time.
Yes.
Hello, is that my cat? Is that my baby boy? Is it my baby boy?
Sylvester?
It's my baby boy. Buddy, come over here. Come here. Oh, what a good boy. Here he is.
Oh.
Here he comes. Hello, sir.
I want to see
I want
my
to see
little
my
boy.
little boy.
Exactly.
Same hat. Here he comes.
I take picture once. I send little boy.
Oh,
I am
Show
sucking
cat.
that, but I also might have to yeet again. Because mom's calling
You
and apparently it's vaguely urgent. I don't know, I can't get through
All
to
right.
us. So if she calls back, I will have to yeet again.
gotcha.
Alrighty.
Oh, come on, Discord. Don't be a dink. It's been not loading pictures on mobile, like, at all. No.
Righty dighty.
Let me see the little boy.
So, Cynthia's back. Cynthia's cleaning. And And she is sort of making idle chatter with anybody who seems willing to, who doesn't have like their mouth stuffed with chicken and waffles. So, you know, she's just going around. She's talking about very mundane things. The weather, how was the trip last night? She heard it felt very long. You know, little things.
Yeah, I think Diana does participate. Just because she acknowledges that there was a little bit of excessive rudeness to Devin.
Talia does not speak.
I know her. Talia
That
has
is-
an excuse.
That is valid. Talia is valid.
I mean,
Talking
Vias will
about
jump in every
weather
once in a
trip
while just
and
to.
probably how we found Western. Not much further out than Western, but
And whatever details she misses, Vias will recount in vigor.
Mm.
yeah, she's a bit of a cough.
Cynthia seems
I've been having it on and off. But
very pleased to hear with like
Oh.
all the lovely traveling you guys have been doing. And she, throughout this, she is cleaning. She's moved on to the kitchen. She is organizing the drawers even more so than Diona had.
Okay.
I
leave this
think
for
Diana had
cooking.
tried to make sure that like all the tinkering stuff, all the stuff that could feasibly be tinkering stuff, was like in a one drawer.
Nice.
Anything she couldn't recognize as like utensils, basically.
Yep, that's, I mean, and you know utensil or two. So you think you pretty much can this stuff. All right, enjoy the eat.
Okay, thank you. I will be back soon.
Go do the
Alrighty.
consume.
Consume. Discord doesn't want me to send pictures of my cat, apparently, because Discord is a rude bit. So it's getting on to like.
Yeah.
It is getting on to like 8:39 in the morning. When this time there is actually a knock at the door. Susanna starts to get up. Cynthia is already at the door. She opens the door, and there is a gentleman who is. Oh, it loaded. Did the picture send?
It did.
One of them sent.
Well, they're the same picture. I just sent one of them. I just sent it twice because the first one didn't load. But that's my boy who was stalking towards me. Very excited to see things.
Aww, what a cute baby.
He's a good boy. He's so small. His paws are so delicate.
Too much bastard.
He is a bastard, but I do appreciate it. Who enters? Who did I just say came in? There's a gentleman who is entering with two children, one on each hip. One of them seems.
How young are we calling these children?
These children are like, one of them looks like she could be 2 or 3, and one of them looks like she could be 5 or 6.
Okay.
Gentleman has dark hair, dark eyes. Based on context clues, you can guess that Coover Crow resembles his mother more strongly than his father, but resembles both of them. And he comes in. Cynthia immediately takes one of the girls, the smaller one, who both look very tired, by the way. They barely look like they're awake. And the gentleman says, hello. Good to meet you all.
Talia is cross-legged on their little fucking cushion.
You subjected yourself to this.
I know.
Good morning.
I'm Coover Crow. I'm Susanna's brother-in-law. And at the name Susanna, the girls sort of start to rub their eyes and they seem a little bit more curious about what's going on because they were basically asleep when he brought them in. And indeed, he sets the one he's carrying down on her feet and says, why don't you go tell your Aunt Susie hello. And she lights up, seems thrilled, finds Susanna, and sprints over and jumps in her lap.
I
And-
hope Susanna moves whatever food she had.
Oh, she's done with her food
Okay.
by this point, because it has been a minute. And as soon as you're done with your plate, Cynthia sweeps up and grabs it and goes and puts it in the sink because she's a busybody. And the other child is quickly deposited in Susanna's lap as well, and now she's just a pile of skirt and children, and there is no hope of getting her out from underneath it. And there is immediately a lot of eager, tiny little chatter, very quiet, very
Does
excited.
Susanna seem okay with this situation?
Susanna seems very happy. She seems tired, but she seems really excited about the kiddos. Because they are baby. Cougar
They
Crow.
are baby, the bastard has not developed yet.
The
Dylan
bastard
sees
hasn't.
small shapes.
Yes, there are small shapes. They are both also wearing little blue dresses. So.
Oh,
Yes.
that's adorable.
Little blue shapes that match their mom, who is also a little blue shape, just slightly larger.
Hell yeah.
And Cougar Crow is just sort of dressed down, pretty plain, comfortable clothes, black gloves.
So what, he's a brown shape? Or like an off-tan shape?
He's like a brown shape, yeah. Brown shape, black gloves, dark hair, sort of dark appendages, a lighter brown blob in the center, and yeah. That's Cougar Crow as far as Dylan is concerned.
I think Diana's gonna stand off for a little bit of a bow too.
He goes in for a handshake, both hands very eager, and says, hello, I've heard about you all from my brother. You traveled with him here yesterday. I heard a little bit about the trip. I'm afraid I'm a little rough with names, so you'll have to reintroduce.
Diana, and she's gonna offer a hand, and she's not going to go for the slightly more aggressive this time. It's going to be a legitimate,
a genuine friendly handshake.
a more careful handshake. It's not the sort of flex that Devon got. It's
just a handshake.
Yeah.
All right.
Not flexing.
Good to know. Diona does not flex. She could, but she chooses not to.
Yes.
Very,
Exactly.
very interesting content here. Yeah. So Cougar goes around.
I need you to understand, she's been taking her cues for how to react off Susanna.
That's, you know what, smart bitch hours.
So, and Susanna seems legitimately happy to see these people, so Diana's actually gonna try and be friendly.
The children are just so excited, and they keep pointing over at you guys, and then like whispering in Susanna's ear, and Susanna's whispering back just as conspiratorially, like you don't know what secrets they are sharing, but they are
Dylan waves.
secrets.
They are very important secrets, though.
The little shapes wave back at you, Dylan, but then they immediately hide their faces again. Not that you could tell, but
Hell yeah.
they were excited to wave and then got shy again.
You know what? Hell yeah. I support these kids.
Hell yeah.
I should grab the charger.
Yeah. So Cooper goes around and he shakes everybody's hands. When
Talia
he gets
does not shake his hand.
All right, Talia does not shake his hand. When he gets
and there's again the introduction of Ansel. They've our apologies, their monastery, they've taken a vow of silence.
Ansel, vow of silence, monk from a monastery. Cooper's got this down. Or rather, PK has this down because
we're going to be repeating that a lot.
It's going to happen a lot. Cooper gets to Zoella, and he seems very he does seem more perplexed than Cynthia was, and he sort of like squats down to be on your level and like shakes your hand and is very serious about his introduction with you because I don't know, he feels like you're somehow important.
At first, she, instead of saying her own name, she repeats his name back at him
Cooper
in his voice.
Perfect. He nods and is like, yes, that's correct. That's me. That's my name.
Yes, that's me. That's my name.
And it's not your name. Is it? Is it? That'd be no, it's not. You're fooling with me. You're fooling with me. I can
She nods.
Okay, you're funny. I like you. Stands up, moves on, finishes his handshaking, bows to Ansel. If Ansel bows to him.
It's more of like that headbutt
All right.
head bow because they're
He'll-
already on their little cushion and they don't
Right.
want to get the fuck up.
He does sort of like a hand on his chest, kind of like a serious nod, and is like, yeah, very disciplined folk from monasteries out here. I've never met anyone from a monastery before now personally, but it's a pleasure to meet you. Yeah, those are my girls. That's Cassie and Anne Marie. Cassie's my oldest, Anne Marie's the littler one, and they both, hearing their names, wave at you all, and then go back to whispering with Susanna.
Diana's gonna wave at the kidlets.
They are super.
As soft a smile as she can manage. Just
They
that
are super excited. Cassie looks very intrigued by your teeth.
They're just kids. They're just beans. Which one is Cassie? Sorry, which one's...
Cassie is the older one.
Okay, thank you.
And she has dark hair like Coover, and Anne Marie is younger and very, very blonde like Cynthia.
I see.
If I remember, 1 minute. Let me double check that and make sure I labeled my kids correctly. I did. Okay.
It's fine. You wouldn't be the first DM to mix up siblings.
They are just so small, I cannot tell them apart. They are merely baby.
They're just creatures.
They are just little creatures. That is it. They cannot change this. Yes. So it's an exciting few minutes, and then another knock on the door because I have a list of people who show up. And you first see the familiar figure of Marion Crow, who is absolutely elated to see her son and her two daughter-in-laws and her granddaughters, and is very, very emotional about it. And behind her is a woman who is around her age, maybe a little bit younger, and she introduces herself as Carolina Crow. She is Susanna's aunt, everyone's aunt. She's Marion's sister. And shortly behind them, by like 5 minutes, two younger individuals show up. They look like they're very early 20s or late teens. And it's a young lady in a purple dress, light purple dress, very pale purple, who also has dark hair. They all sort of look alike. It's clear that these are all crows. They're all from the same family. And a boy who looks about her age, also sort of dressed fairly casual. And they introduce themselves as... Fuck, what does the boy introduce himself as? He is Denny Crow, and she is Liza Crow. And they are ever so delighted to meet you. Well, Liza is. Denny doesn't say much. He just sort of waves.
That would be Eliza. Dan is sort of keeping a bit of a general eye on how Susanna reacts, or how she doesn't react, more specifically. People.
Once Marion showed up, Susanna sort of passed the kiddos off to her at her request, and then had to stand and do hugs and kisses with Aunt Carolina and hugs and kisses with cousins Denny and Liza, and she doesn't seem as genuinely excited, but she does seem so pleased that they're here, and it's been so good to I've missed you all so much. It's just been such a terrible thing to be without you all, but here you are. And they are echoing the sentiments, and it's very, well, Liza is. Denny doesn't say much. He just sort of waves and says, I'm Denny Crow, Hackers and Susanna, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then he sort of finds himself a corner and he sits down and just sort of twiddles his thumbs.
Danny is so valid. He's my favorite.
Denny is honestly just everyone's mood right now.
That's Denny's just out here trying to not be here, which is really the situation.
Yeah, honestly, Denny's just like the.
And at this
Denny's
point,
all of us at family gatherings.
right? Denny is modeled after me. I'm Denny. Denny is stupid and doesn't want to be here. That's me.
Talia and Denny have like a moment of solidarity in the corner. Even if
Just like the eye contact and nod.
They really do. It happens because like Denny sort of overhears the whole vow of silence thing, monk thing, and he just sort of looks over, nods, goes back to twiddling his thumbs.
Talia gives him a nod back and is like, one kindred soul.
Yep. At this point, I think
while she was a lot more happy to engage in sort of small talk with Cynthia and Kuba, does get a little bit more straight to the shoulders and a little bit more. Again, that's sort of slightly bored,
right?
hiling.
Yeah, for sure.
Participates when directly spoken to, but mostly is just.
It's around this point, actually, after Susanna has welcomed all the guests and is making sure everybody is situated, that she says, Vice, Dylan, I know you mentioned you wanted to go take a look around town, and I figured good a time as any if you'd like to go, if anybody wants to go and just explore. And Liza Crow says, oh, won't they get lost? And Susanna says, it ain't that big a town, Liza. They've seen bigger ones.
I'm from a city.
Right, Dylan's from Amman. All the way from Amman, and he's come to little old Colrick.
It's very far.
On Miss Susanna's recommendation, of course.
Indeed, and they wanted to see the sights, and thought maybe they should see the sights since it's such a nice morning and we have asked to get to. So I figured if they wanted to go exploring, they might go exploring now and be back here in time for us to go out later.
I think Diana, wherever Lena's at, I think Diana's going to tap Lena on the shoulder and, basically kitchen for a minute and start doing tea.
Tea. Yes. Good. You all start making tea, or you two both start making tea. I know Bias wanted to explore, so I will assume he is doing that. Is there anybody else who wants to explore with him?
Dylan will explore.
All right.
Who's all staying?
Diana, I think Vera and Lena are.
Is Zoella staying or is
Zoella's
Zoella going?
I don't know what Zoella's doing.
Zoella's gonna explore it.
All right.
Yeah. So we've got a fairly even split.
Flip a coin.
I don't. My dice box is right there.
Even if they go with odds, they go. Odd. They stay.
All right. So the warlocks and the bird will depart. And I will wait until Ren gets back, probably.
Yeah. Diana's gonna work with Lena to do some tea and to do some. She really is hoping that Susanna has enough, like teacups to actually do this, but otherwise.
She does. In fact, the more you get familiar with the contents of Susanna's,
the more I become incredibly aware that she was expected to host.
Oh yes, she's very good as far as enough cups, plates, silverware, anything for anybody. She's got plenty.
It's just tea. Again, Diana's not catering for these people because she loves Susanna dearly, but you don't cater.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So So you are making tea with Lena. You are making decent tea with Lena. And Susanna.
Talia is keeping a very close eye on proceedings, but not interacting.
All right. You see a few times, like Liza Crow in particular seems really like curious about you, and a few times she sort of starts to move over in your direction, and then Susanna will take her by the arm and redirect her with some other anecdote about, oh, her terrible, just so awful time on the road. It was so exhausting, you know. So a few times you almost get overtaken by Liza Crow, but Susanna snags her back every time.
Yeah. I think Diana, and once the tea is done, Diana does make an appearance and does distribute out the tea. Kind of makes sure to give Marion and Susanna respectful nods.
Mhm.
Gives basically everyone who would be sort of authority a respectful nod.
Mm-hmm.
Susanna, you honestly know Diana well enough at this point to know that she's just...
Right.
This is mitigation.
She's just playing it up.
I need to be clear when I say Talia is keeping a careful eye on proceedings. I mean, they are fucking watching everyone like a hawk.
All right.
They're trying to absorb as much information and as they can.
It is very chaotic right now, honestly. There is so much, because the little kids are kind of running around now that they're surrounded more by family. Cynthia's trying to keep track of them. Coover's talking with Carolina, who's also talking over to Marion, and Marion's conversing with Susanna, who keeps trying to run interference on Liza. And Liza is just sort of, she's also watching the room like a hawk, honestly. She's very, very keen. She's scanning everyone and
Liza has her
everything.
tea, right?
Liza does have her tea. She doesn't thank you for it. She just takes the cup and is...
Yep, that's fine.
Can I have a
Yep.
question down to the NPCs
As
in the
soon
room?
as handing tea over to someone else, Liza's tea splashes her in the face. Or Liza's tea splashes Liza in the face.
Motherfucker. Yep. So,
Oh shit.
is it... Okay, first of all, is it still warm? Is that funny? Yes.
Yeah, I think it's still warm. I think it's very deliberately warm, not hot, because she doesn't want to cause injury, but she wants to.
Yeah. All right. So it splashes her in the face, and she sputters, and she says, "Oh my goodness! Oh shoot! And she just sort of reaches for any cloth to dab her dress off with, and Coover hands her a handkerchief, and she's blotting at her dress, which is also got tea around the collar, and she wipes her face off, and she says, "Now, what in the..." And yes, that is... She seems very put off by this, and she's really staring at her teacup suspiciously.
Sorry, I'll refill that. I don't know what happened there.
Like she's upset at the teacup, and she looks at you, and then she looks back at her. She doesn't... She clearly is not clued into what just happened, but knows that something just happened. And everybody, well, it was a little chuckle in the crowd. It's like, oh, you know, clumsy Liza, which is of course not true, and etc.
Yeah. Diana does refill it and doesn't mess with this one.
All right, good for her. She doesn't thank you again, but she does nod at you this time. So that's something. The Bird Locks plus Bird had decided to go exploring.
Oh, excellent.
So
I did
you
want
all...
to do that.
I know, that's why I said you did. So you all head out from Susanna's house, and you've got a couple options for exploring, because basically from where you entered the town, you're pretty much at the opposite end of it. So you can stay and you can look around sort of up on this section of the town that's on the hill, or you can go down the hill and look at the section of the town that's down the hill, or you can just, if there's any particular thing you're trying to find based on what you know to be in the town, you know, you can go hunting for that. I don't know what you guys want to do, what you're looking for.
Dylan, do you have any interesting places you would like to go to?
There are a lot of birds.
Vias looks up into the air. Do we see any flocks of crows?
There are some scattered flocks of crows, but more so off further up the hill even than most of the town is. There are, like, you can see even from the distance, like, a lot of birds.
Vias just looks at Dylan and just grins and says, "Do you want to go see them?"
Maybe later.
Okay. Well, maybe we should leave the brothel alone until noon. We weren't invited yet.
Until forever.
Well, let's see. You can learn a lot about the place from, well, looking around. So let's go just poke in a direction. This way.
Do you want
We are learning? I thought we were just wandering.
up the hill or down the hill? You have two options. Are you staying on the top of the
Let's
hill?
go up the hill first, because it's easier to go down a hill than up it most times.
Okay. So, not going directly up the hill because that's where the birds were that Dylan didn't really seem too stoked about, but you just sort of start wandering around the town and you find some little shops and things, and you find some
little shops. I heard lethal shops. I was
some
like, what the fuck is
lethal
that?
shops.
I heard lethal as well, and I'm like, oh, guns, okay.
You do not see any gun shops. You see well, right around Susanna's house, you see what you believe to be a jailhouse of some sort.
Makes sense.
You see, what? See, I have a thing. You see a little farther on, you see some small shops that do not seem to contain lethal things. Of various sorts, like a small seamstress situation, a little grocer situation. You see an inn, which has a hanging sign, which has sort of like a stylized, cartoon-looking ship on it, and the name of the inn is the Crow's Nest. It's a maritime theme. It's very funny.
Interesting.
And you just sort of wandering through some houses, largely just, and many of the shops you can see are just houses that have a room dedicated to
Selling
shoppy things,
Okay.
because most people just sort of live and set up shop where they live.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's cheaper.
that's the situation there. Just going around.
Bias just makes note of some of the places and just nods a little bit. There's nothing too interesting or catching his eye yet.
No. And as you walk through, like, you can see sort of on the far end of this road, the big idle hands, which you'd seen earlier, which you know you will be heading to. There are a few people out and about who look at you very strangely, but do not seem to be interested in bothering you. They're just curious.
The small person stare. Bias just gives
Everyone
them,
else
like,
is.
if they're staring at him, he kind of just gives a smile and doesn't really talk to them. He's just being somewhat polite.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is very pale, right?
Very pale.
Yeah,
Most of them are, yeah.
just general. Dylan is brown.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
He's doing his best. I don't know. My brain is not working.
It's good.
You are so valid. And you do see, because Mercy's with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are occasionally a few birds or crows that will fly up a few at a time and sort of circle the air above you and then fly off, but they don't, like, swoop in or anything. They just sort of, they're observing you as much as anybody else in the town.
Gotcha. Vias kind of like squints at them a little bit and just mutters, "Man, that's a bit creepy." Man,
I
wish
don't
could
know,
talk.
they are birds.
Man, I wish I could talk to birds again. I kind of got rid of that to be a little more charming, but
What?
secrets from the Moonweaver. It's a thing I can do. It makes me more persuasive.
To birds?
No, not necessarily. More to people.
And now you can't talk to birds.
Yes.
Was it worth it?
You know,
So accusatory.
Was it worth it?
am I charming?
Dylan doesn't answer that question.
Vice just grins brightly and just says, "Well, there's your answer. It was worth it then."
Okay, but now you can't talk to birds, so I don't know.
Poor
I mean-
Zoella is just sitting here, like, listening to this.
Is she with us?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yes, she is.
She
is just a bird.
Vias
She's just-
looks down at Zola and says, "Can you speak bird or understand?"
She shakes her head.
Okay. Well, then there's your answer.
I was not asking her.
Well,
Birds are cool. Why would you not want to talk to them like all the
I
time?
can talk to Mercy. That's all I really care about.
Mercy is one bird.
Excuse me, she is the best of birds.
So
If
Alana
Marcus
looks
was here,
offended.
it would have been pegged.
Zoella, we know enough about you to know that you're not exactly a bird.
You're the best, mostly bird.
Yes, that is true. As person birds go, and I do not know very many of them, though I do know some, you are a very delightful bird. Human.
Gnome.
Gnome, yes. Bird human gnome. Well,
Yeah, you're pretty cool.
mhm. Well, I don't know what else to look at up here aside from the interesting flock of crows. I mean, I'm kind of interested to poke around, especially
The
since
birds that you have betrayed.
I didn't betray no birds. What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
I betrayed no birds. They betrayed you.
They what?
You said this morning about Marcus.
Marcus does his own thing. I'd like listen, as soon as he's like far enough away from me, I can't control what he does, and honestly, sometimes I don't even want to.
Vias just scritches Mercy's neck and she kinda like puffs up her feathers.
Yeah, okay, just because you have a well-behaved bird does not mean you're better than me.
No, of course not. I mean, you got a companion from the Raven Queen. That's a lot more than I can ever say.
Is it really that cool?
My whole I've thought this before, but my whole city kind of not revolves around, but it's ingrained in our culture a little bit. That's like a high honor.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Well, that's okay.
I don't know how I feel most of the time though, so like that's not really saying anything.
something.
Mhm.
Vice kind of takes a look around and just kind of frowns a little bit and just says, "Well, there's not much we can look at here. I mean, we've seen these places when we came through. Maybe we should go down the hill?"
Maybe.
Indeed, looking down the hill, you can see down there seems to be a larger, perhaps a temple-esque structure, as well as what might be a graveyard and some other houses adjacent to both of these things.
Sorry. Continue with your
No,
description.
that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what's at the bottom of the hill.
Vias perks up immediately and grins brightly and says, "Ooh, a graveyard." And he's going to go down. You know, I
All
don't
right.
know most of the burial rituals for these sort of things. I know a few of them, but I'm curious what it's like here. I mean, are there tombstones? Are there mortuaries? And where are they located? And he just kind of is rambling a little bit to himself.
Dylan has no idea what he's talking about.
There, I assume you go down into the graveyard.
I mean, if he's curious about what's attached and around the area first, he's not going to go barging into a private graveyard if it's...
It doesn't seem to be fenced in at all. There are little pathways going through it. It is adjacent to the temple structure, but does not seem to be directly connected to it. And there's just a lot of little headstones.
Vias
Pretty much.
will look at them headstones a little bit. I'm just curious about the style and stuff that they tend to use and stuff. Or the names.
They all have, they all have the name. Some of them seem to have the date of birth and death. Some of them don't. Many of them have like a small, like, beloved husband, brother, friend, sort of engraved on them as well.
Mm-hmm.
As you walk through, do you want to make like a perception or investigation check to see if you find any names or anything that's interesting, or are you just sort of scouring?
Sure. Vias will kind of like look at Mercy and say, "Okay, well, maybe we can find
7.
the crows, huh?"
Dylan, you can't read at the moment.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh yeah, I can't use Mercy as a double thing. Never mind. Let's just do a Vias roll. Because Mercy's no longer a hawk.
Aw.
Yeah. 13.
All right. And Mercy can look as well if she'd like. But if you're looking for crows, you can find some crows.
Sure.
There's some little trees and things in this graveyard as well. It's quite quaint. And you go through and you find the first crow you find, Rowena, and in quotations, Rosie Crow. And next to her seems to be buried one Roy Crow. There are no dates on them, and there is no beloved husband, mother, anything. Mercy is struggling. Mercy is distracted by
real loudly. Ah!
by things. As you continue to go through the crows, you find quite a few crows. A lot of crows, really. Going through. Yeah, what'd you get? A 13? Eventually you stumble across one ibis crow. And it says, oh fuck, I don't have the date pulled up.
It's 8.
Or, not like the date. I have the date where he died.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere in my notes, but I don't have it right now. So we're gonna say, for the sake of this, that there is no date at the moment. That's not necessary, but it does say beloved son, brother, husband, and friend, Ibis Crow. And if I had the date, there would be a date, but there's not a date, so I say no. And there are flowers at this grave, somewhat wilty, but someone's been here fairly recently. And you're looking at that, And you think, yes, I know that one. And then you look next to it, and you know that one too, because that gravestone says Susanna Crow, beloved wife and friend.
Excuse the fuck out of me?
Yeah.
Vias stops mid walking. Noella? Can you read that?
Me?
Out of character, I don't know what we're looking at. I just got back.
There's a gravestone on it that says Susanna Crow in the graveyard.
What's the date?
There is no date on this one.
Does it say anything below it?
It is beloved wife and friend.
No sister?
No sister.
Oh shit.
How old does it look?
Let me do some mental calculations here. It looks like it's been there at least a year.
Susan?
Hold on, let's see if
Has Susanna ever said how long she's been in mourning?
No, she hasn't, and nobody's asked.
Shit.
She's been in mourning for at least a couple of months because she was allowed to wander around, but she's still in full mourning, so it's been less than 6.
You think both of those things, but you don't know how things work in Corwick.
Vias is
Fair.
going to take Mercy and set her on Dylan's shoulder, and he's going to go brown bear and sniff the ground and see if he can smell decaying flesh or not.
Oh my gosh. All right, yeah. Go ahead. You turn into a brown bear. You make your perception check.
Just give me 1 second because I need to see what bear perception is. So that's plus 3.
Episode title: Susanna's fucking dead.
Again. Because that did happen to her once almost.
Well, you don't. Well, I mean, there's the grave.
I add my proficiency to this, right? I forget.
Just because there's a grave doesn't mean there's a death.
True.
So I think it's plus 4 then.
Yeah,
Joe,
go ahead with all your bonus things for
Yeah, 'cause
sniffing.
I think proficiency, because I use my proficiency and then it's plus whatever the stat needs to be.
Yes.
So,
I
okay.
think. I don't know. You're good at smelling
I think
things.
that's what it is. I'm trying to figure it out. Oh no. Bias, no. Nah.
You smell the flowers from the grave next door.
Bias
next door.
shifts back quickly. That didn't help. Damn it. Well, that makes
Let's
me
start
have new
grave robbing
questions.
big. Go for it.
Oh god, please don't.
No.
Dead of night, I'm coming back.
Hey, so what the fuck?
Yeah, I think maybe the church near here would have answers before we go barging in on whatever lovely reunion Susanna is having currently, to ask why the fuck she has a tombstone with her name on it. And her not being in the ground.
All right. Y'all yeah, let's cut back to the nice little breakfast party.
Yeah.
Parker has some meta knowledge that is making a little bit of sense.
Uh-huh.
A few people have some meta knowledge that might be making sense, but you're all wrong.
It was me.
Are you sure about that?
I kind of am, because I'm the one who knows what lore I've given people.
I know.
But I mean, maybe y'all are a little bit right, but you're mostly wrong, I guarantee it. So everything's fine, and you guys don't know anything, except that Liza is just a bitch. Twice now, she has made a comment on both Diona and Vera, mistaking them for men. She is very...
I think Diona just gives a bland little, slightly pointy smile.
she's not really saying, she's saying these things more for her benefit than anything else. She doesn't really care what your reactions are. Moving on. And she's talking.
And her tea has been being, like, I feel like she's had to change teacups like 3 times
Because of
at this
the,
point.
because of the,
Splish
is it
splash, she's taking-
splashing her or is it freezing?
It has frozen once, it has splashed her, it has spilled in her lap.
At this point, she, like, after it spills in her lap, she sets it down on a table and she says, I'm done with tea. All right, I'm done with tea. I'm done with tea. So, Susanna May, now, I mean, it's just the strangest thing, just sitting there so quiet. I don't understand it in the slightest. What? Okay, can I ask, is it a girl or a boy? And Susanna just sort of takes a sip of her own tea. And she says,
Neither. Talia has taken vows that allow them to transcend gender.
Ansel, I assume, is what you mean to say.
Yes, Ansel, sorry, that is my bad. That is a Joe bad. Yeah, Ansel has taken vows that allow them to transcend gender.
Oh, transcend gender. Now that's, I don't know. She turns to Susanna again. She says, I don't know what that means. And Susanna takes another sip of her tea.
Susanna's tea is behaving. In fact, Susanna's tea is like at the perfect temperature.
Susanna's tea is fucking delicious. And yeah, Liza seems to have given up on that route of questioning, and she goes over to see Cassie and Anne-Marie, neither of whom seem like they want to spend time with her. And it's just
Talia makes a mental note of things.
Is she passing by anyone else who is having tea?
Yeah, she's passing by Carolina and Coover and Cynthia, all who are drinking tea.
The problem is I like Cynthia and Coover too much to.
Caroline's right there.
Yeah, I think. I think as Liza is passing, Dona might try to flick Carolina's tea at.
Okay, so once again, Liza is splashed with tea for like the 4th time this morning. And she turns to her mother and she says, Mama, you stop that right now. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And Carolina says, you don't raise your voice to me, young lady. And Marion says, you respect your mother, Liza Crow. And then everybody starts shouting.
I think Dona has to leave the room because I think she's like 0.5 inches from giggling.
Danny Crow is sitting in his corner, twiddling his thumbs, watching this, but not caring.
Oh my god.
Talia is watching and listening so very carefully.
There are insults being directed. Like, Susanna is also trying to sort of step back, but she's very much in the middle of it. Like,
yeah.
The little girls have run off and are, like, playing in the dining room now. But
yeah, I think Dona has sort of gone to the dining room and is keeping the kidlets entertained.
Very good.
Like,
Marion...
I think she's kind of realized they're there and just has started in on some wild story from...
Blessed.
I need to know if there's anything choice or juicy said at all, because Talia is paying so much attention.
Okay. Some people are just trying to calm the situation down, but Liza and Carolina are arguing so fiercely, and Carolina calls her daughter ungrateful, a brat, disrespectful, and Liza calls her mother mischievous, like in a very angry way. Like, it's not what you would normally expect from an insult, like ill-behaved. And they are shouting at each other so fiercely. It's way unlike anything else that you have encountered so far in Corrick. And even Susanna, like, even when she's mad at you guys, she doesn't like shout at you like this. But they are just having a screaming match in this dining room. There's nothing that really seems relevant to you.
I do have a slight question.
Yeah.
Which is, Does it seem like Liza would yes, it's clear that Carolina's tea was the one that just did something, but is there any sense that Liza now suspects Carolina of being able to do anything else with her tea?
It seems right now that Liza is fully convinced that Carolina has been doing this to her all morning.
Okay. So then Eliza has reason to believe that Carolina can pull that kind of thing off. Noted.
Yes, very much so. And Carolina
I
is
mean, I'm
defending herself.
reasonably sure that Susanna, Talia, and Vera, although Vera's not actually here, possibly Lena if Lena's around, but can figure out.
Yes, but I'm more interested
Yes,
about the Liza.
the dynamics.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Marion actually is accusing Liza of doing it herself for the attention. And it is it takes a long time for the shouting to die down. And then once it's died down, Coover hands Liza another handkerchief. She blots herself off. And everybody sits back down and returns to their conversation almost as if nothing had happened.
What's the time look like at this point?
Oh god, it's been a hot second.
Exactly.
It's probably like, what time did they all get here? I don't fucking know. It's like 11:30.
I think Diana finishes whatever she's telling Cassie and Anne-Marie and just, Miss Susanna, we are expected.
Susanna is so thrilled you speak. She just, oh, that's right. I promised I would go over and see Aunt Ida at noon, and she likes me to be early. It has been so good to see everyone. You'll have to come over again, or I'll call on you maybe and see everyone. It's just been so good. I've missed you all so much. Liza, darling, would you like a change of clothes, or are you all right to walk home like that? And Liza just sort of smiles and says, oh, no, thank you, Susanna May. I think I'm quite fine. Danny? And Danny Crow gets up, walks out the door with Liza. Carolina and Marion walk out, though they also seem to be angry at each other. Cynthia and Coover look very apologetic for the situation, even though they were not the ones screaming and they had nothing to do with it. They seem very, awkward and sort of upset at having to leave at such an awkward time. And they scoop up their kidlets, who, of course, give Aunt Susie another hug before leaving. And they head out as well, and then it's just you guys.
And I think Diana very visibly lets out an exhale and starts to relax.
Yona?
Yes?
I just gave Joe, the most, shit look. Which is what Talia gives Diana.
Yeah. I think Diana just gives a bit of a slightly awkward
Grin.
Yeah. Not quite that much teeth, because she's a little bit more, but slightly awkward grin. Some dusts her hands off.
Susanna sort of clears her throat. So, there must be something wrong with my teacups.
Must be.
That's mighty strange. Poor Liza. Mine was fine.
Well, they are your teacups. Of course they're gonna like you.
I suppose that's fair.
Confused. Is that a thing that happens?
And I think Diana kind of leans forward and, if you are okay with, I didn't mean to start a whole. I just wanted to stop.
They would have been like that. They would have found some reason to be like that, no matter what. They just bless their hearts, they're a hot-headed bunch of folks, and there ain't nothing to be done about that. But some of them seem to enjoy their tea.
Some of them weren't rampaging bitches.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but yes.
Episode titled Talia experiences a transphobic microaggression.
I'm so sorry about that. It's just how she is.
It's okay.
Yeah. So Liza's terrible.
This is why Eliza got.
Yeah. I mean, and you knew from the going into it that Susanna couldn't stand Liza, so she seems relatively pleased with how things turned out. Looks a little bit like she wishes there hadn't been a screaming match in her living room, but nothing to be done for it.
Yeah. And I think when Donna realizes that Susanna's okay with what happened, she does relax even more. But there had sort of been like tension in the shoulders, like she was expecting to get.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes. I hope it wasn't too painful. I mean, obviously it was a bit painful, especially, but I hope it wasn't too painful. I mean, you know, Liza's Liza, and Carolina can't control her daughter no matter how she tries. But you know,
Okay, but Liza's face when the tea splashed her the first time.
oh my goodness, that was amazing. I wish I could have that saved as a painting forever to hang above my mantle and just look at anytime I felt down. Just look at that painting. She sort of has her hands up, framing where the be on the mantle, and she looks genuinely so enraptured with this thought. Yes, that was.
I probably won't be able to get away with it again.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't, because who knows? I don't know if they can tell who did that sort of thing. I don't know how magic works, but they might be able to figure it out through process of elimination if their heads cool down enough, which their tea certainly did. I did not.
That one I know about. That one I know about because we had a crew member who, he was an ass, and whenever he'd refill his water skin from the barrel, I'd freeze it just before he.
Oh my god, you are wicked. That is.
He deserved it.
I'm sure he did. It's still wicked.
And every time it would nearly thaw out, I'd just do it again.
Oh my goodness, the poor man must have been terribly dehydrated.
I stopped after a while, but he spent a couple of hours.
Beautiful. Well,
But
much
we
as
are
I said that I'd have liked us early to get them out, I'd probably wouldn't mind us early, though not like the others have gotten back yet. I mean, we could probably find them. Wouldn't be too hard to find them. Should we try and find them? I think we should try and find them.
We should try and find them.
We should try and scoop them up. All right.
Charles, you doing okay?
I'm fine. They mostly kind of have that, like, I'm not exactly sure what went on there, but here we are. I don't know what that bitch said about me, but I didn't like it.
So you all can freaking head out onto the street and yeehaw.
Try and find our bastards.
Try and find the bastards. We do have those freaking message rings, right?
Yeah. I think Diona's gonna ping it and go, "Hey, where are you three?"
By
And if they're
Chilling.
within range.
Vias did want to go into the church before, because he wants answers.
You're probably like right heading for the temple when you get this ping, so
Okay.
based on conservations and things. And it took you a while to scour through the graveyard and stuff, so.
Gotcha. Yeah,
because it's a big graveyard.
He mentions that he's at the temple. then he will take a look around, I guess.
All right. As you sort of enter the temple, let me find the NPC name.
Oh, jeez.
I wasn't ready for you guys to go to the temple.
Sorry.
It's cool. I wasn't ready for you guys to go to the graveyard really either. But that was going to be a later reveal. You walk in, and a young woman, with sort of a brown tunic and a belt, very simply dressed, sort of greets you at the entrance and says, "Hello. What can I help you with?"
Nothing exactly, but I did have a small question about one of the headstones out within the graveyard.
Are they all? And she seems like kind of concerned and confused, and she says, "Is something broken? Is there grave damage?
No.
Is there?"
It's more like I'm wondering. See, we've been traveling with a friend of ours, Susanna, and it appears that she has a gravestone.
Mrs. Crow.
Yeah.
Oh, Mrs. Crow. Well, oh goodness, that would certainly be confusing to somebody from out of town. No, it's just a grave. It's just a headstone. They had it made up for her in advance because we didn't want to waste time carving one for the burial because we assumed it would be quite soon. But then she made a recovery, so she's quite well now. And we left the gravestone because she'll need it eventually. And yes, that's sort of how things are done around here.
That's true.
So she was sick how long ago?
Oh, well, I don't know how much I should say. And she has this look like she really wants to say, because she like really wants to just gossip. And she's making an effort just for the show. And she says, "Oh, well, her health, it's been up and down for years now. And there have been a few times. But no, we made it for her. Oh, it must have been close to a year ago now. And we were all certain it was the end of her. Certain of it. Thought, but she pulled through. Our dear Eleanor, she tended to her and brought her back to wellness, and we're all so thankful she made it through. But her health, it has its ebbs and flows, and we're just very blessed that she's remained with us this long."
I see. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Well, thank you for the information. I was curious. I mean, there's obviously practices where, rush job for burial markers and such. And he kind of takes a look around the temple. And who do you worship here?
This is a temple to the Dawn Father.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. Well, it was a
almost
pleasure
time.
to meet you. What was your name?
Oh, I'm Anna.
Anna. Vias Tatari.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. Feel free to come and pray whenever you like.
I appreciate the offer.
You can just slide out. She seems like she'll talk to you more if you want to stay and talk to her, but if you want to just sneak on out.
He basically is just gonna be like, "I appreciate the offer, but I'm meeting up with my friends in just a moment here, so I won't keep you long."
Oh, all right. Bye now. You have a nice day.
You as well. He just glances at Zawella, and Dylan is like, "What the?"
So yeah, you guys.
There were no insight checks rolled.
I mean, considering that she's seemed like she wanted to gossip. Yeah.
Motherfucker.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If you guys trust every piece of gossip you hear in this town, it's going to be very, very interesting, very fast. But
I mean, Vias will fact check it later.
Dylan's too dumb.
You're both so valid.
And what's Zoella doing?
Zoella is being a bird, and also she has horrible wisdom, so she's not the one to insight check.
Can Vias just like think back to her reactions? Like, did it seem like she had any ill intent for like talking about this?
No, because I don't feel like letting you insight check after the fact.
That's fine.
And you all sort of stroll out. And so basically, Idle Hands is at the top of the hill where the graveyard is at the bottom of the hill. So it is easy enough for you guys to stroll back up the hill to see what's what up there as the group is sort of making their way in that direction.
So they presumably get the ping just asking.
Yeah, and they would have. I think Vias said that he was at the temple.
Okay.
And then, yeah. Which, if that was shared with Susanna, she would have thought that was weird, but not gonna make a big deal out of it.
Vias is a religious man.
Yeah, but she knows he doesn't worship the Dawn Father.
He didn't know who was there, to be fair.
She
Though
said it
Susanna
many
did-
times
well, I
on the
know,
Yeah,
course of
she
the
has
did
actually
say
said.
that
In
it
fact,
No, I
She
know.
has-
the first conversation she and Diona had was actually about.
Yeah, that's the temple is the thing she has shared the most about from her like life.
Yeah,
But-
I know, but I'm just saying that he didn't necessarily know if this was the temple or if there was more than one, you know?
The town has one temple, it has one brothel, it has one of everything.
Who needs variety here?
It's very small.
Anything it has, it only has one of.
And it doesn't have much.
Except for gaslighty bastards. That it has in abundance.
What? No, that's
Mhm.
fake. So, either you all can go up the hill to meet your friends who are arriving, or your friends can go down the hill, but Suzanne is not going down the hill because she doesn't feel like it.
Dylan
Yeah, I
goes
mean,
up.
honestly, we're all heading to the same place, so it might be worth just.
Yeah. What Dylan do what now?
Dylan's
Dylan
heading
goes up.
Vias
Alright.
also does that.
So you all rock up and meet up. And Susanna says, "Did you have a good time exploring?"
Yep, I'll probably do some more later.
Exciting.
How
I know
was
it's
the
not-
family gathering?
Oh, goodness.
Is
It
it an
sure-
oh goodness that was good or bad?
It sure was a gathering of my family. That's what it was.
Dylan gets it.
We'll fill you in when.
Oh, we'll
We're
fill
not-
you in later. Let's go see my aunt. That sounds like a fun time. Better time. Yeah, let's go. And so you all can stroll in to Idle Hands, and it is like 8 o'clock in a real people space. And I would love to keep going, but my voice.
Gotta go.
And so I'm gonna call session right
Yeah.
before you guys meet Idle Hands people.
Leave us on a cliffhanger.
Sorry, y'all. They're
It's
really the
okay.
best NPCs in the town, but also my voice hurts.
It's okay.
So
I honestly think Talia's reaction is like, oh, another one of places like these. Another Florrie's place. What?
yep.
They have not yet met yet. They are going to eventually, and it's going to be delightful.
Y'all are
Oh,
good.
Florrie and Talia have met.
No. Florrie and Miss Ida have not.
Oh,
It's
okay.
going to be delightful when they do.
It is going to be delightful when they do. God.
Well, thank you so much for DMing, PK.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
session.
I hope it
I'm
didn't suck.
glad you derived amusement from my
It was great.
shenaniganery.
Everybody did great. Everybody went feral. Which Was not expected, but cool. It was cool, guys.
I must go though. Bye, guys.
All right, bye bye.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stop recording sessions, so